let's get to the logic of this application. So in the logic, it's completely written in JavaScript. So as you can see here, what this block does is it just does a selection of all the components which we need. So my score display, it's just this digit. Computer score display is this one. Rock is this button. Paper is this button. Scissor is this button. My choice image is the image which will be displayed here. Computer's choice image will be here. We have done some initial score counts. So in the beginning, the scores will be 0, but as we increment, it will start from 1, 2, 3, and respectively. So this logic is broken down into functions which will help us to get some specific tasks. Computer choice will give us just the computer's selection. This is completely random. So this is how we will get the computer's choice. Game is the main function which decide who won and who lost and will do the necessary updates on the screen. Reset highlight is something which will reset the highlight which we get on the screen. This one, the red highlight which we have, the green highlight as well. So this function, it does the reset, like remove the color, that's it. Highlight user selection, this one is responsible to highlight this specific button, the button which I click. Select winner is just responsible to give me who won and who lost, and this will change. This is also responsible to change the color as well as update the score. Okay, let's get to the event handler. So every button is tied with a specific event handler of click. So if you click on this one, what happens is this is gonna trigger the game function with this specific object. This object is something which will give selection, that's a paper, and the icon. You don't need to worry too much about the URL, this icon, because this is just for a better visualization. Okay, so what happens? Let's take the example of rock. What happens here is I select rock. My choice goes into this game function. This game function, what happens in the game function is, first of all, it's gonna reset the highlight. So remove all the black, not the black, the red and green the box shadow, and then what happens is my choice URL is selected, so I can see my selection at this spot. What happens next is the opponent choice. Computer choice function helps us get the URL as well as the string. This is completely random. If you can, as you see the code, you will figure out that this random function generator is going to give you that. Next one is this image, which is supposed to change in the computer's choice. So this function is responsible for that. Then now we need to count the winner. Count, but calculate the winner, who won and who lost. This function is something which is gonna look for a tie. So if there is a rock and a paper, you're not supposed to select or do anything, right? So that's what this function does. Let's look at this. Else alert, it's a tie. So this function is gonna just do that. Okay, it's a tie because it's Caesar and Caesar. It's a tie, paper and paper. Okay, here we lost. So that's what this function does. And as you can see, the select winner, it takes two inputs, which is our choice, our selection, and opponent selection. So it can be rock and rock, not rock and rock, but rock and paper, or rock and Caesar, and things like that. What this selection does is, let's go to the select winner. Where is it? It's right here. Okay, what select winner does is, first it joins the content, the both of them, like rock and paper, and then these are the possibilities when user can win. So if it's paper and rock, that's when a user wins. Caesar and paper, yes, we win. Rock and Caesar, yes, we win. So these are the chances of us winning, right? So it creates this kind of a string. And what this does is when the user win, this is fairly basic Java, not JavaScript, but computer science thing, that if it in this array we have this content, then this is true and you're supposed to execute these things. If it's false, so let's say if it's any of these possibilities, the following one, that's rock and paper, paper and Caesar, Caesar and rock, this will execute because we didn't win and computer won. So at this point, you are supposed to change it to red, that the highlight selection changes to red, and computer score will increment, not our score. So that's what this function does, select winner. And these kind of events are what you can say tied to all rock, paper, and Caesar buttons. So based on this, you see we won. It was a tie before, and this time we lost, and this is a tie again, tie, win. So that's pretty much it. This is the basic logic. There are tons of different ways of doing this, but this is the way which we have done it. So thank you for watching this series, and we'll be doing few basic series right now, and then we'll go with the more complex programs. So stay tuned and thank you very much.